Across the country, thousands of farming families work tirelessly around the clock.
Stop arguing, girls. Give over.
But there's one day each year when they get to leave the daily routine behind.
Right, here we come, Dorset.
These are show days.
A very, very warm welcome to Melfast Show.
When they come together as a community.
Fingers crossed.
Horses are one of man's longest working partners. For thousands of years they have toiled the land together, creating Britain's iconic patchwork of fields.
Good boy. Okay.
In the modern world, where machinery has virtually replaced them, we're meeting two families who work hard to keep this traditional farming method alive.
Come on, there's a boy.
Robert and Barbara Sampson and Dan and Jess Brown are both preparing to compete in one of the country's largest heavy horse ploughing competitions.
Wait! Hold fast! Jethro!
Winning here will continue to build their reputation, all important if they want to keep this dying skill alive. Hampshire's New Forest is known for its wild ponies and magnificent ancient woodlands. It has also been home for over 100 years to Robert and Barbara's farming family.
Come on, do you want to go and see Poppy?
Right, come on, boys! Yeah, you, Norman, come on.
Just like their great-grandparents, Robert and Barbara still use heavy horses to work their 240-acre farm, where they produce hay for feed, rear cattle, and breed and train horses.
Hello, Norman. Hello.
We actually haven't got any machinery that needs a little engine to power it.
You're not supposed to be eating that bit. Originally, my father and grandfather and, you know, all before would have had Shire or Shire types. Very nice teeth. Very nice teeth.
The early 20th century saw a rapid decline of horsepower as thousands were commandeered for the Great War. So farmers were forced into mechanization. In the 1950s, Robert's father decided to continue using horsepower. He brought in the French breed Percheron, as they're very sturdy and they don't need to be stabled. Perfect for the British countryside. Both now in their 60s, these fifth-generation farmers still work the land themselves, with the help of their 40 horses, of course.
They all look fine, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, everything's the right way up. These are Percherons and Percheron crosses, so they're all by Percheron stallions. So we've got 4 full-breds, so that's Percheron both sides. And then the small one there is Percheron stallion out of a New Forest mare. Hello, you still here? Yes, I'm still here.
Hello, Budapest. Isn't she pretty?
Right, so come here. We use the horses for the jobs which they are most useful at.
These horses do everything. Move the hay, plough the fields, feed the animals.
Good boys.
This means that all of the equipment has to be adapted to work with horsepower instead of machines.
Right, there are. One loaded bale of hay.
We never use machinery to feed. That means you can go into a field with a really heavy bale and you just don't make the mess on the floor that you would if you were taking a tractor or...
We don't cut the gateways up.
His love for traditional farming means Robert wants to find ways of keeping it going and encouraging others to go back to this method.
Fine, have we got Norman?
So Robert has begun to breed the Percherons and then trains them up slowly by taking the young horses to work in the fields. And there's lots to teach them.
In order to plough, your right-hand horse walks in the furrow, so it's much easier just to drive them round a couple of times so that they get used to walking in the furrow. Not up there, in it. And usually twice round and they've got the idea. It just saves an awful lot of swearing when you come to try plough with them. Go then, little boys.
It's very labour-intensive running a farm in this traditional way, so Barbara has found a method to make it work.
Robert does everything, and I do as little as I can.
Yeah. Come on, Ed! A lot of people think that Barbara's the boss, which she is. She is, providing it's what I agree
I'm
with.
actually not. I honestly, truly, I just do exactly what I'm told all the time.
Barbara sees to the office work, which seems to occupy an awful lot of
I
her
do.
time. That and child minding with all the grandchildren.
Yeah.
85 miles away in the Surrey Hills is a different kind of horse family. There are no fifth-generation farmers here. Instead, horse trainer Dan and former teaching assistant Jess have been living their country dream for over 20 years.
So when we bought this field, we fell in love with a yearling that was kept in the field opposite our gate, and from there we never looked back really. It was all began with sort of stroking a long nose over a gate.
Falling in love with heavy horses opened up a whole new world to them. Soon they were attending all the local farming shows.
We went to a spring working. That was the start of, there was people there harrowing, ploughing, rolling, and we were thinking people just turning up in cattle trucks. There was, it was just farmy people, and we thought these are our people.
Yeah.
But keeping horses isn't cheap, so the couple started a business, training them up for the land, as well as a sideline in livery.
OK, walk on. Good, buddy. Go on, on you go.
They've also started to put them to work in all sorts of enterprising ways.
We have varied jobs. We used to do a fair bit of timber work through the winter. We give carriage driving lessons to people that come in. We ride them. We go out and do a bit of paddock maintenance, and all these little jobs fill the gaps to make enough for us to earn a crust, So.
Jess, along with daughter Naomi, is preparing for their workload ahead.
This is Eddie. He's going to pull a wagon at a funeral today.
And like the other farm, Jess has her theory about how the workload is split.
Dan's very good teaching people and with the horses, and have a very clear demarcation. I tend to sort of do the morning feeding and tidying up a bit more.
We're not sure who's in charge, but...
Come on, woo.
Meanwhile, across the county border in Hampshire, Robert is getting on with the day's feeding.
Stand still.
They also find ways to bring in the money a challenge. This age-old way of working doesn't always mean a reliable return.
We've never ever had any money.
Very much of a hand-to-mouth existence.
But we enjoy very much what we do.
Get up, boys. Whoa, whoa. That's exactly what I wanted.
Thankfully, this farm has another highly skilled arm to its business. These are Robert and Barbara's sons, and they are both farriers, fitters of horseshoes to the animals.
The thing is, with the farm on its own, couldn't support the number of people that live here and exist on it. So it seemed to make sense to go into farriery.
I'm also a farrier, and that was another thing that I learnt from my father. When farming was really bleak, it was shoeing horses that actually kept us here.
Now we've got two sons who've taken over that part of the business.
This diversification has saved the farm, and possibly the brotherly bond as well.
I just got beaten up because I was the youngest of 4 boys.
I did the beating. That's why you're the rounded individual you are today.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he keeps telling me, and that's why I got a nervous twitch as well.
But the Sampsons' farm hasn't always been entirely horse-powered. There was a period when machines found their way in.
My great-grandfather, hello. My great-grandfather bought a tractor during the First World War because a lot of the horses had been requisitioned by the army for replacements. We've had a tractor ever since, but we've worked them in with the horses.
However, it seems the reasoning for never swapping to tractors permanently has been lost through the generations.
Why has your family?
No, I think there are days when I wonder. Right, horse, that'll do! And there are other days when I think it's absolutely brilliant. I suppose you would. I suppose you would.
Dad has always worked horses. As a result, they've always been part of our lives.
Sort of resented it as kids, though, didn't we?
Yeah, cold mornings doing the feeding in the winter with the horse rather than the tractor, which would have been warmer and faster. But, you know, that's what Dad wanted us to do, and that's what we did.
Nowadays, breeding, training and selling of heavy horses is a large part of the farm's life. But it isn't always a straightforward job.
The more awkward ones, I mean, Diamond here, she is not the most helpful creature that was ever put on hooves. She can be an awkward old bag. And this is always the thing with training them. I'm a great believer in training them as 2-year-olds when they're malleable and you can form them into what you want, rather than an older horse that's set in its ways because it enjoys being out in the field and being a horse. It doesn't really see why it should have to go and do what I ask it to do. Whoa! Right. It's not what was required of you, so get back where I left you. Get back.
They can do a day's work, absolutely no trouble at all. You know, they're all fit, able, and there isn't a single one on the farm, bar a couple of old brood mares, that doesn't have a job.
Despite all their detailed training, Robert's horses often find themselves more as ornamental workhorses than the real thing.
Most of the horses we sell are basically people, it's going to be a leisure, even if they're going to do a little bit of work on the field that they rent or own. It is mostly that they want to own a horse.
Back in the Surrey Hills, Dan and Jess are also making the most of their magnificent horses. And it's not all serious work. The family have a collection of historic and replica carriages and have tapped into the growing tourism industry around these picturesque hills.
Surrey Hills is very close to London, and so we've picked up on the tourism side. Some people might want to go for a picnic ride, some people might want to go for a pub ride, and that's quite good fun because people are out to have fun, you know.
Good boy. You've done well, Tiki. You're a star.
The ride may be over, but Dan's working day isn't. He's needed to help out in another part of the hills. His son Toby is a tree surgeon, and being able to extract old timber without the aid of heavy machinery is an environmental victory, something that's important to this family.
We can bring the horse in here and there's no impact on the ground. A nice quiet way of working in the woods. Well, apart from the chainsaw, obviously, yeah. OK, fella. Walk on. Good. Good lad. Good.
These heavy horses are so ideal for working the landscape without damaging it that Dan and Jess are finding demand is growing. excellent news for their farm survival and the preservation of traditional farming methods.
We've done some bracken control for somebody who had a little bit of woodland in their back garden, where you might not get a big tractor across their lawn and into their woods at the back of the house. A horse is ideal for going in and dealing with those sort of settings.
In an age of technology, the uses of these animals seem limitless, and finding ways to work with them is becoming a passion for both families. Being able to show them off is essential for their future. Back in Hampshire, preparations are underway for show day.
Good boys. No, I don't want to be rubbed into, Norman.
Fred will be competing in the ploughing competition, but he's not a confident plougher and wants to get some practice in.
Fred's going to plough with a pair, and he's going to use our 3-year-old stallion with a 3-year-old gelding. So we've got to try them out, because these are young horses. They've not actually done any ploughing.
Get on, Norse, get up. Good boy.
This way, you go. This way. Go on.
With the show only a day away, Fred needs to get his 2 horses to walk a straight line if they're going to walk away with a prize.
Are you going to take them driving?
Ploughing is a team effort, but in this case, who is actually in control? The handler or the horse?
Stop it. Right, okay.
Yep, hold fast.
Come on.
Norman, Norse, Norse, get on with it. Good boys.
Seems it's the handler.
The control you have over them is a very thin veneer. The clever bit is not letting them know that. Whoa!
Whoa!
Stop!
But it's actually the horses that have the upper hand. Fortunately, Robert is a lifelong horse whisperer.
Yeah, just do all from one mouthful.
Go a bit deeper.
Yeah, I'd do something about that. That's a bit annoying. Don't give them too much on that one, I wouldn't.
Really? What, anything at all?
Probably not. Well, try it a yard with what you've altered.
All right. Hold fast, hold fast. Good boys.
And they're off again.
Go on, get on with it, boys.
Walk in a straight line. Quite stressful ploughing. Stop! Now he's kicking out that. When it goes right, it's lovely, really, really enjoyable. And when it goes wrong, it is the most stressful thing in the whole time.
It goes from being ploughing to rowing.
Yeah. Come round. Come round. Ooh. Whoa. Whoa. And that's you.
Things can go really badly wrong. Yeah, I mean, there are occasions, I mean, you know, the horses decide they're not going to go, and there's not much you can do about it, actually.
Get on with it.
Norman. Yeah, well, Norman's holding back now, you see. Norman! Go on.
Boys. That's it, North. That's it. You go. North, get on with it.
Good boy.
Finally, Fred's confidence is building with these new horses. Seems practice does make perfect.
Norman, get in. Good boy. Good boy. Hey, good man. Considering that's the first they've done ploughing, I'm not displeased with them.
Pull him round, that's it.
This is important for Robert. Doing well at the show will help the business.
I often take 4 or maybe 6 horses, so, you know, larger teams, and it is a good thing. It's
Hires your profile.
yeah.
Raises your profile.
Raises
or
my
whatever
profile.
you say. Yeah. If it needed raising.
Back in Surrey, Dan is getting ready to set off for the show. He may have less experience than horse whisperer Robert, but his enthusiasm for his beautiful team knows no bounds.
Okay, come on, let's go this way. This year at the ploughing match, I'm going to take Obi, who's a Suffolk, and Rita, who's a Comptoir, so it's a sort of French-English team.
Entente cordiale, hopefully.
So I don't know if she's even ploughed, actually, so that'll be interesting. Hopefully we won't make complete fools of ourselves. And, you know,
That's the main aim.
And we're doing all right, isn't we? So.
Horses loaded, it's off to the show. In Hampshire, Fred is making the most of last-minute practice.
Go on, in your furrow.
With Robert's support, he continues into the evening, before the light fades.
Boys.
Go on, get on. Norman!
Boss, I didn't ask you to stop me. Oh, I want you to stop, you won't.
Today, the Southern Counties Heavy Horse Association is setting up its annual ploughing competition in Surrey. It's being held in this empty and very muddy field. Despite the weather, this should be a great opportunity for the heavy horse community to come together and show off their traditional skills. But the heavens have opened up and the rain won't stop.
Remind me why we're doing it?
I'm not sure. What our idea? Seemed like a good idea at the time.
The field is so waterlogged that everyone has to pull together to get the trucks in. But nothing puts off these horsemen.
I'm all right. I don't know about everybody else.
I'm just going to be in the lorry all day, so I'll be fine. Actually, it's going to stop raining in a minute.
Yeah.
I promise everyone, it's going to stop raining.
It's got to clear off and be lovely.
We did try and give this tail a quick shampoo before we left, but it all seems a bit meaningless in this weather.
I can always blame the conditions. It's too wet for me, yeah.
Even in good weather, ploughing competitions are like no other. Each ploughman is allocated an equal-sized plot, 740 square metres to be exact, and they have to have it all ploughed by 3 o'clock sharp. The winner will be the farmer who ploughs straightest and at the perfect depth. Today's judges are John Goodwin and Peter Bundock, both experienced farmers and ploughmen.
I started with plough horses and doing ploughing, as you can see what happens today. I was quite a good ploughman, so I think I'm equipped to judge, yes.
There may only be 35 teams today, but the competition is still fierce for this small group of determined traditional farmers. With horses all hitched, it's time for Robert to make his grand entrance with his team of 6.
Right, contact, chocks away! Hold fast, Jethro!
Straight out by that little horse. Mum, Mum.
Pay attention, wifey.
Well, I thought he was going to go that way.
No, he's going to go down.
Well, we've got to go where I can get out.
I think he's mad. No, I think he's okay.
The ploughmen are divided into classes based on their level of experience. For today's competition, veteran Robert is in a class of his own,
38.
quite literally.
38.
He's gone on to ploughing on a ride-on plough so that there's nobody else in his class, so he doesn't have to worry.
There's no, I am in a class of my own. I'm not on my own in a class. I have every confidence.
There's nothing quietly confident about Robert.
Expectation is everything, and I expect it to go well. I won't be paddling about in the mud because I've got a seat. Whoa! Nobody asked you to move any more than that.
But alone or not, Robert will still have to perfectly plough his plot. With 2 horses and a handheld plough, the less experienced Dan is competing in the novice class. And the ever-helpful Jess will be lending a hand.
Weather's good now. Hopefully it'll stay like this for the day, and horses seem fairly settled at the moment, and once we've started, then I'll be happy, really. Yeah.
As the sun begins to shine, crowds start to gather. The teams are in position. First challenge is to plough their opening furrow.
Whoa.
OK, together, walk on.
And they're off. Robert's experience and skill means he's already making light work of his first line.
Phil, will you listen?
Now he has to wait for the judges to inspect before he can continue to plough his whole section.
That's his opening. Now he's got to go round it, I think. Do you think that's right? So I've been watching for 36 years. You'd think I'd know by now, wouldn't you?
Judges John and Peter step in to take a closer look.
First part of the ploughing, it should be well cut and straight. At the moment, we're not finding many straight ones.
As Robert's efforts are being judged, it gives him a moment to help his son Fred to get underway. Fred's also competing in today's novice class. And it seems the young horses, Norman and Norse, are testing Fred's mettle.
What are you doing? Right, Norman. Whoa, Norse. You giblet head. Norse, being a stallion's a little bit excited because there's lots of other horses about here, so let's not make things too easy for Fred.
I was a bit worried at the beginning of the week. Put them on and it didn't go nicely. Everything sort of went a bit bad. And then I've actually come to the realisation that I do what I can. I've got young horses. I can't really plough the best. So I'll just have to see how I get on.
Come on, fast, Norse. Whoa. Not deep enough?
Don't think so.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Norse, come on, hold fast. Oh, don't you blow snot over me.
But even the most experienced horseman can't be guaranteed a good day's ploughing.
It all depends on these horses in front of you. If they do their job lovely, it makes this job easier.
Whoa, right. We're not having any of that out of you. We're going to have a bit of trouble here. You've seen those blasted show horses over there.
If they give you a hard time during the day, you'll be sweating and it'll be very hard. It's a team between you and your horses. If they're going lovely, it's the best feeling in the world. If they're going wrong, it's the worst.
Despite the early onset of nerves, Fred completes his opening furrow.
Let's chuff for that. Yes. Pretty straight. Mine to lose. I put the pressure right on.
A seemingly confident start, but it's for the judges to decide.
I'm looking to see straightness and well cut. This is slightly shallow, so he will lose marks because it's slightly shallow, and he also lose marks because it's not straight. So I would say that's probably about 5 or 6, would you? 5?
I'd fall 4 myself.
Okay.
It seems that Fred isn't the only horseman struggling to keep a straight line. His rival and fellow novice Dan is also having teething problems.
Whoa. What's that? No, it's all right. A few little wobbly bits, but it's a start. Let's try and square it up a bit more.
The judges are kind in this competition. If you don't like your opening furrow, the rules generously allow you to go over it again. So Dan's taking the opportunity to iron out those kinks and bumps.
Now,
Yeah, OK, up together.
a little way.
Keep him towards you, Jess. That's it.
Rita, walk
Go
on.
on.
Good girl.
That's it. Run straight through that. Don't follow it.
Walk on.
Up. We're going a bit deep now, but never mind.
But Dan's decision to straighten the furrow hasn't gone to plan.
See, they absolutely followed that kink in it.
And it's starting to attract attention.
Don't look. That's right. We've just done our opening, which we could keep tweaking away on, but we're going to leave it as it is, because we could make it worse. Let the judges have a look at that. They have to judge that before we can carry on. It could be a lot better, yeah. But it's, it's in the same field and...
But judges John and Peter can see straight away where Dan has been struggling. This is a small, tight-knit farming community, and they have no issue with offering some much-needed help.
Right, you want to be somewhere about there. So bring that right back.
You're not going to charge me for this advice, are you?
No. So it comes out there. Whoa.
Tighten the top up.
Tighten the top.
Tighten the top, loosen the bottom up.
So just let it come out just a touch. Just bring your horses round, just try it, just see what it does.
OK. Together.
Dan has furrowed too deeply, but with a few plough adjustments and some friendly advice, he gets back on track.
OK.
They're the future of this game, and if we, with our experience, don't teach them, they will never learn.
OK, walk on.
Hold your handles. That's better. Now you're getting there.
It seems a simple tweak can do wonders.
Looking down now, I've just given them a couple of tips. It's already made quite a big difference.
Men and some women have been standing in fields watching ploughs go head-to-head since the early 1800s. And this competition continues to support a time-honoured tradition.
The association is the oldest association in the country. We started off as a ploughing organisation to encourage people to continue ploughing. We put it on each year to keep the tradition alive so that everyone who has a heavy horse in the UK has somewhere to contest their sort of ploughing, and it draws in the local people to actually realise that these heavy giants are still working.
And whilst traditional farming has diminished over the years, the passion for competition certainly hasn't.
It's been phenomenal, yeah, it's absolutely. The rains this morning, I thought, wow. But the public have turned out, the horsemen have turned out, it has been a fantastic day.
Back in our field, today's competition is well underway. It's best foot forward as the teams are fired up to get all of their plot ploughed.
North. Up step. Oh, sorry, Will. Woo.
That's it, good girl.
There you come, George. Good boy. Good man.
Walk on, Rita.
OK, whoa.
There's another set of judges here today. Will and Anne Williams will be watching the handlers and the horses rather than the earth beneath them.
We'll be judging best working team, which to Will and I is the most important because we've worked horses for many years. But I mean, the way Robert's horses are going today, I'm getting deceived by a wasp now. And he's doing it on his own. You need to be able to just go out to the field and work the horse. And in his case, work 6, I think, yeah.
With half the ploughing time still to go, Robert's almost completed his whole plot.
There you come, George. Good boy.
But as the finishing line approaches, everything comes to a standstill.
Right, now I don't know what you lot think you're doing over there, but I don't want you there. Get over. Come on. Release, you old cow, get over. Not that much, you stupid thing. Dear, oh dear, I made a mess of that.
Time for the horse whisperer to work his magic.
Right, without moving, step back. Get back. Get over. Come on, move. Right, get over. Good boys. George, that includes you. Move. Right, up fast. Jethro. Cash.
And he's done it.
Move. A little bit of a malfunction coming up there, but he doesn't look too bad from this end. I'm not sure. There is a bit of a bend in it, but so I couldn't help that. Now the old boys would say I'd be able to catch a hare there because it'd break its neck going around the corner.
But it's all up to the judges now. Even a great ploughman faces harsh scrutiny.
If we don't think the standard is high enough or good enough to get that first prize, we've got the right to say and refuse it and say, look, sorry, that standard wasn't good enough. All you've done is, well, you've made a mess. What we're looking for now is the finish. It should be straight, not too deep. His depth is pretty good, but it's not very straight. It's a lot harder with the plough he's using. So he's done a reasonable job, to be honest.
Dan's 3/4 of the way through his plot, but when you're guiding a big lump of metal, you need to have the stamina to get to the end. Luckily, there's a few words of encouragement to help him along.
But you are better. You are better, darling. It's definitely an improvement.
In the neighbouring plot,
Good boy.
Fred is also feeling the strain of the day.
Yeah, you can't, you know, that little bit of kink, I wouldn't worry about that. Well, I got a snaky finish, so you should have one as well.
I probably should straighten it up, but then I'd have a better finish than him and he won't let me do it.
That's not true. That's not true.
Both novices are almost there.
Go on. 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 No. That's it. We're done.
Sprint finish ploughing.
Yeah, they did their bit. And, yeah, that's all right. Oh, no, I'm happy with that. But whether it's a first or a last, I don't know. OK, together.
But it's not over until the judges take a careful look at their hard work.
Oh, dear. He's got too much left.
It's too deep, he's got too much. Really could have done with going round again, couldn't he?
It should be dead straight so I could grab it, because running a straight line up it, well, he'll break a leg running down there. That's the problem. So I'm afraid this competitor is not going to get great points for his finish. Yeah. Hey?
And soon after, Fred also crosses the finish line.
Not bad at all, Fred. A little bit of wander, but you don't worry about that.
It's not the straightest, but 2 babies, I'm not very good at ploughing, so all in all, it's gone pretty well. Yeah, it's in their hands now, so I've done all I can.
It's not straight enough, that's the only problem. He's still got a chance of winning this.
But it's not all about the ploughing today. This show is an excellent opportunity for horses to display their finest attire. Braiding and brasses.
Originally, they think the horse brass came over with the Romans, but really it was in Victorian time that they became more accessible.
Decorative horse brasses have become collector's items and have even attracted some royal custom.
We made some horse brasses for Prince Charles. He had a couple of Suffolks on his farms, and we've done a commemorative one for the Queen's 90th birthday.
The shiny brasses are still used today to adorn the majestic working horses in the field.
The farmers liked them, and they were always very proud of their horses, and they liked to put the best of the best on them for a sort of day out or at local ploughing matches, very much as they are today. It is just to bling up the horses, and men being men, the more bling they could put on them, the better they looked.
After a long, exhausting day, the 35 teams gather together to discover their fate.
Robert Sampson's teams, yeah, coming through. Lovely to see them. Robert Sampson coming in, riding. The world of the heavy horses one very special place. Thanks, Jim. Thanks.
Everyone's here, and the judges can begin to announce. Winning is about sealing the farmer's reputation. The first award will be for the ride-on ploughs.
Right, we're going to start off with, this is Class 2, the 2 furrow ploughs. That was Robert Sampson.
And Robert's cracked it.
Riding forward there. Thank you very much indeed, Robert.
And can add another rosette to his collection.
As we are next, you get through as quick as you can to get your rosettes, if you would.
Next up is the novice class. Fred and Dan have both given it their all.
Novice there, Stokes, novice class.
Can Fred clinch a win like his dad? And has Dan done enough?
Second place was Daniel Brown.
Thanks very much, John. All right, thank you.
Right, didn't it?
And first place was Fred Sampson.
no longer a novice.
It's a boost for Fred's confidence.
Single. Plough.
Both these novice ploughmen have done well, but there's one more prize to go.
Right, next we've got the best working team. Was Robert Sampson.
What? That? Look off again.
And the county's favourite horseman chalks up another win with his team of 6.
Well done, Robert.
Thank you. Must have been all.
It's rosettes all round.
Very good.
And time to reflect on a job well done.
So show your appreciation for all of them, ladies and gentlemen. These people are the future of the world of the heavy horse.
Very good indeed.
Yeah.
Very good. Fred won.
But that does mean that I've got to go up into the big boys leagues and start fighting out.
Is that true?
Yeah, I can't do any
Oh,
more.
no, that is a bit shame.
We got a second. That Fred beat us, so that's all right. I'm really pleased with the horses, and the result was good. The rain stopped, so it's all it's all a good day.
Good day.
In spite of the weather and the grueling muddy fields,
I'm not sure.
our farmers ploughed on regardless.
North, come on, how fast?
Proving that hard work and determination is what it takes to overcome the odds.
Right on top.
On the top, loosen the bottom up.
So just let it come out just a touch.
You never stop learning, and setting up the plough is a fine art, and they're encouraging, which is great.
That's better. Now you're getting there.
Bad one. I've got best team and one. And you've got the best team, that's true.
Yeah.
Most amazing.
Across the country, thousands of farming families work tirelessly around the clock.
Stop arguing, girls. Give over.
But there's one day each year when they get to leave the daily routine behind.
Right, here we come, Dorset.
These are show days,
A very, very warm welcome to Melfare Show.
when they come together as a community.
Fingers crossed.
Horses are one of man's longest working partners. For thousands of years they have toiled the land together, creating Britain's iconic patchwork of fields.
Good boy. Okay.
In the modern world, where machinery has virtually replaced them, we're meeting two families who work hard to keep this traditional farming method alive.
Come on, here's the boy.
Robert and Barbara Sampson and Dan and Jess Brown are both preparing to compete in one of the country's largest heavy horse ploughing competitions.
Wait! Hold fast! Jethro!
Winning here will continue to build their reputation, all important if they want to keep this dying skill alive. Hampshire's New Forest is known for its wild ponies and magnificent ancient woodlands. It has also been home for over 100 years to Robert and Barbara's farming family.
Come on, do you want to go and see Poppy?
Right, come on, boys! Yeah, you, Norman, come on.
Just like their great-grandparents, Robert and Barbara still use heavy horses to work their 240-acre farm, where they produce hay for feed, rear cattle, and breed and train horses.
Hello, Norman. Hello.
We actually haven't got any machinery that needs a little engine to power it.
You're not supposed to be eating that bit. Originally, my father and grandfather and, you know, all before would have had Shire or Shire types. Very nice teeth. Very nice teeth.
The early 20th century saw a rapid decline of horsepower as thousands were commandeered for the Great War. So farmers were forced into mechanization. In the 1950s, Robert's father decided to continue using horsepower. He brought in the French breed Percheron, as they're very sturdy and they don't need to be stabled. Perfect for the British countryside. Both now in their 60s, these fifth-generation farmers still work the land themselves, with the help of their 40 horses, of course.
They all look fine, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, everything's the right way up. These are Percherons and Persian crosses, so they're all by Percheron stallions. So we've got 4 full-breds, so that's Percheron on both sides. And then the small one there is Percheron stallion out of a New Forest mare. Hello, you still here? Yes, I'm still here.
Hello, Budapest. Isn't she pretty?
Right, so come here. We use the horses for the jobs which they are most useful at.
These horses do everything. Move the hay, plough the fields, feed the animals.
Good boys.
This means that all of the equipment has to be adapted to work with horsepower